Hi, and welcome. You're listening to the X22 Report. My name is Dave, and this is episode 1986A, and today's date is October 3rd, 2019, and the title of the episode is The Central Bank of Central Banks Just Hit the Panic Button. Patriots just hit the globalists hard. Now, before I get started, let's talk about retirement. Now, if you visit any of the great tourist spots in America, everything looks peachy. But look a little closer, and all is not well. You can't fail to notice an uptick in homeless and street people out there. That's how it started last time. The signs are all there, and this is happening again right now. But just like last time and the time before that, the stock market is way overvalued and wobbling. You need to put precious metal safety net of gold or silver under those savings to protect them. So talk to one of the specialists over at Noble Gold today. Click the link below to get the free gold guide or call 877-646-5347. Let's get into the economic collapse financial news. Now, I want to be perfectly clear when I talk about the central bank, the economy, the Patriots. This central bank system that we're in, and remember, this is a central bank system that was started in 1913, revamped in the 40s, revamped again, and we were taken off the gold standard in the 70s. This system is going to implode on itself. It will not last. Trump and the Patriots, they're using all the weapons against the central bankers, against them to keep this system going long enough so Trump and the Patriots can complete the entire transition when he gets elected in 2020. That's what this is all about. And when we're talking about the economy, we're talking about using their weapons. We're talking about stimulus. We're talking about cutting the rates. We're talking about everything that they did in the past, but all the manipulation they did to make us think that the economy was doing great. Trump is just using this against them. Trump, the Patriots, they know that this economy is not going to last whatsoever. And this is why the mainstream media is out there pushing recession, because they knew that this system will not last. And this is why they were hoping to crash it. Remember, they had an entirely different plan. They were planning on bringing this system down while they had an event. That event does not exist. So the only thing they have left is to blame everything on Trump. Everything that he's doing, they need to blame him. And Trump, he's not building upon the central bank system. He's building upon a brand new economic system. Just like in the 70s, when the central bankers built a system that was completely separate than the one we were in at that time. And we can see that everything that's been going on right now, everything that Trump has been pushing, he has two agendas. One, bring back manufacturers, bring back the companies to the United States, reset all the trade deals, stop countries from stealing billions and billions of dollars from this country, bring in those individuals that believe in sound money, restructure the Fed, put us back on a sound money system. And remember, when you look at this, that is the transition part. That is the new economy that he's building. The old economy is debt. The old economy is credit cards. The old economy is the stock market. The old economy is everything the central bankers have been doing for the last 40 to 50 years. And we can see there's two sides here. Now, very interestingly, we've seen the stock market move up and down. It's going back up again. We've seen gold move up and down. It's above 1,500 again. And since we're talking about gold, I think this is very interesting. Chinese authorities found more than 13 tons of gold stashed away in the basement of a former mayor's home during a corruption investigation. So they found this gold. It was gold bars down in the basement. It's worth hundreds of millions of dollars. Now, this was in a secret cellar in the home of Zhang Qi. And he also had cash and other things down there. I mean, think about this for a second. These individuals are holding on to gold. Yes, this individual had some paper fiat currency, but most of his holdings was in gold. Why? Because gold is the money. Now, here in the United States, Trump and the Patriots just did something absolutely amazing. And it was needed. And guess what? They've just beat down the globalists. The Trump administration, via U.S. Trade Representative Robert Lighthizer and Commerce Secretary Wilbur Ross, won a massive $7.5 billion award as an outcome of the World Trade Organization agreeing with the U.S. against the EU and Airbus subsidies. The World Trade Organization arbitrator's decision is final and cannot, and I repeat, cannot be appealed. This win sets the stage for Trump to deploy a $7.5 billion in countervailing duties against products from the EU. Keep in mind, a final WTO ruling means the EU cannot retaliate against any WTO authorized countermeasures. The downstream ramifications are very significant. Think about it. At 25%, the U.S. could tariff $30 billion in EU goods. The award of $7.5 billion annually is by far the largest award in the World Trade Organization history, nearly twice the largest previous award. And the arbitrator calculated this amount based on the WTO findings that EU launch aid for Airbus is causing significant loss of Boeing large civil aircraft, as well as impeding exports of Boeing large aircraft to the EU, Australia, China, Korea, Singapore, United Arab Emirates markets. Under WTO rules, the arbitrator's decision is final and not subject to appeal. Now, the United States today has requested that the WTO schedule a meeting on October 14 to approve a U.S. request for authorization to take countermeasures against the EU. Pursuant to WTO rules, the WTO will provide the authorization automatically at the meeting. The EU is not allowed to retaliate against the WTO authorized countermeasures. The tariffs will be applied to a range of imports from EU members, with the bulk of the tariffs being applied to imports from France, Germany, Spain, and the United Kingdom. 4 countries responsible for illegal subsidies. By putting these tariffs on foreign imports, Trump has counterbalanced the never-ending Marshall Plan trade program and demanded renegotiation. Trump's goal is reciprocity. He's said this before in news conferences. No one ever could take on all of these interests. Think about it. The EU, Asia, World Bank, International Monetary Fund, China, Russia, U.S. Chamber of Commerce, Iran, U.S. Congress, Wall Street, the big club, lobbyists, Hollywood, corporate media, foreign and domestic. All of these financial interests are aligned against Main Street USA and against Trump. Trump and the Patriots just shut down the globalists. They are losing. We, as a people, are winning. Everything has changed. Trump tweeted out the following. The U.S. won a $7.5 billion award from the World Trade Organization against the European Union, who has for many years treated the USA very badly on trade due to tariffs, trade barriers, and more. The case going on for years. A nice victory. Absolutely. Now, you see what happened here? What do you think is going to happen with China? Why is Trump doing all of this? He's doing this because we need an even playing field if we're going to transition into a new economic system. The central bank system is garbage. It is done for. We can't resuscitate it. Trump and the Patriots are letting it die. That's what's happening right now. Now, the Fed, they have actually added to their official balance sheet of about $100 billion since early September of 2019. Now, remember, they were unloading their balance sheet. Now they're adding to it. Think about what's happening here. Bringing the interest rates down to zero, having the Fed load up its balance sheet, having other central banks around the world go negative, start stimulus, add more debt to the world. What is Trump and the Patriots doing? They're destroying the entire central bank system. And guess what? The central bank of central banks, the biz, they just hit the panic button. They put out this biz paper and they said, okay, we have problems here. We can't continue to lower these rates. If we do this, the system is going to implode. It will not be able to sustain itself. You think Trump and the Patriots knew this? You think they knew if they kept this low enough that the bubbles would get bigger and bigger and bigger and the whole system would come crashing down? Absolutely. Remember, when the Fed and other central banks around the world were doing this, they were controlling it. They needed to make it look like the economy was doing really, really well after the 2008-2009 Great Recession. And during the Obama administration, that's what they did. Now, of course, we reported on the opposite, saying, no, this is not making the economy better. The economy's getting worse. Well, it was getting worse, and it still is. It's not getting better. When Trump talks about, look how great the economy's doing, he's talking about the manipulation that they've been using for a very long time. But what he's really saying is, look at the economy that I'm building. Because once the central bank system is gone, this is going to be our new economic system. Now remember, everything that he's doing right now, the trade deals, this has nothing to do with the globalists. Actually, it's counter-globalists. This is not what they wanted. He's countering everything that they've been doing for years and years and years. The next hurdle is China. And guess what? He will conquer China. They will submit. Once they realize that Trump, he's going to win the 2020 election, and all those other individuals in the deep state that are promising certain deep state operatives within China that don't worry, things are going to go back to the same way it was. Once they start to realize this and the leaders say, okay, look, we're going to be left out in the cold if we don't do something right now, because we can see that it's not going the way these deep state players are telling us it's going. And you're going to see things change very, very rapidly. Now, according to the Biz paper, prolonged interest rates, low interest rates, negative interest rates are having a significant negative effect on banks, core business, and a role in the economy. The Biz warned that if we keep these rates this low and continually go lower and lower and lower, it's going to be a disaster for the entire global economic system. You think Trump and the Patriots are doing this on purpose? You think they're driving this system to the very edge? Now think about it. The Biz in their paper says, when you lower the rates, the banks do not lend. They shy away from lending, and what they do is they start speculating in the stock market, and it pushes the market up. You think this is what Trump and the Patriots are planning to do? Remember, the mainstream media, the deep state, they've been using the stock market as the gauge of the economy. And we know it's not the gauge of the economy, but this is what they brainwash the people into thinking, that the stock market, if it goes up, everything is great. Just like if your house goes up in value, you think everything is great. But those are bubbles created by the central bank. They've been doing this for a very long time. But when Trump continually tells the Fed to lower, 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 what happens? The stock market moves up. Why? Because the banks do not lend. They speculate in the stock market to profit from the stock market. And it drives it up. And the Biz is hitting the panic button, letting everyone know that this is not a good idea. The central bank of central banks is panicking. They know if this continues, their entire system comes crashing down and they're completely exposed. Listen, everyone, thanks a lot for listening. Be well, be safe, and especially be prepared. Thanks a lot.